Hello, hello, hello. It is Rick Kamla. It is Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. We are the Fantasy NBA today. We continue our top 120 rankings. We'll give you playoff vibes. We'll give you ATS prop bets heading into Wednesday night's Game 5 between Minnesota and Oklahoma City. I want to tell you about our great sponsor, BetOnline. BetOnline are the world's most trusted betting platform, your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season's in full swing. We're into the NBA and NHL playoffs. WNBA's going on. BetOnline has more ways to stay in the action. They have the latest odds, news, scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds in everything from MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here. Doc, we have our top 100 now. Okay, we're working our way to 120, and we're now at 100, which is going to be basically 91 to 100, okay? So we will do with these guys what we've done for all these guys in our top 120. Does this ranking represent this player? And next year for the draft, are we fading, reaching, or drafting at value? So, Doc, we start with Fred VanVleet, okay? 91 8-cat total ranking. 8-cat per game of 87, 9-cat total ranking of 88. I think we have a new winner for the most static across the three. I mean, are you kidding me? 91, 87, and 88. He played in 60 games. Talk to me about FVV.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's accurate because he wasn't great. He was hit or miss. He had some really bad shooting games, some really just bad games, but he also had some really good ones. I think you and I both are secretly voting for him to leave Houston so that we can let the kids play and get him out of the way. But I mean, that feels about right to me for VanVleet. I mean, the days of him being an up and coming superstar long gone, and we're kind of left with this shell of what VanVleet once was. So I do think that those rankings seem pretty accurate.
Yeah, man. So we're looking at. I agree. I think these rankings represent this player. I'm taking FVV, if needed, and depending on the flow of the rest of my draft, round, what would this be, Doc? Round 7 or 8 kind of thing. Now, it depends on, like, if Houston declines his option and he's cast adrift, I don't know what team he's going to be on. I don't know how that all looks. I'm kind of assuming that he's going to be back in Houston. The reporting is there's mutual interest on bringing him back. They were very successful this year, so I think that's the way they're going to go. And so I will definitely mess with Fred VanVleet next year. Okay, dropping down to 14 points a game sucks. It's his lowest scoring average since back in 18-19, his third year with Toronto. And he's down in the assists down to 5.6. But still at almost 4 rebounds. 1.6 steals is elite. 2.7 threes is, I would say, the tier below elite. And, oh my God, he shot 37.8%. Oh my God, dude. I'm sorry. Dude, I just had to barf. I mean, I just had to barf, bro. You know that I'm not a percentages guy. But God bless America, 37.8%, bro? Let's get a little shot discipline working into your game, bro. Dude, 37.8%. That's got to be the lowest percentage of any player in the NBA with a decent volume of shots this year. Has to be. Nobody shot worse than Fred. There can't be anybody with a decent volume of shots that shot worse than Fred VanVleet. Anyway, despite all of that, I will mess with Freddie B late in drafts. Round 7, round 8, I'm trying to think. Golly, I'd like him to slip a little farther, dude. Round 7, I don't. Round 8, round 9, round 10. I'll just say it like that. That's kind of where I'm looking at FVV.
Yeah, and I think I'm done with FVV. Like, I'm probably not drafting him, but I would if he fell far enough. But
yeah. So I'll say it's a fade. It's a slight fade. I'm definitely not reaching. I don't feel great taking him at I'll draft him at value. That's my final answer. I'll draft FVB at value. I'm not going to reach. All right. Next up is Ty Jerome Doc at 92. 92 is his 8-cat total ranking, 8-cat per game ranking, 126, 9-cat total ranking of 92, and he played 70 games. Talk to me about Ty Jerome.
This is a roto guy. He's okay. 12.5 points, 3.5 assists, 1.5 threes, great field goal percentage, and a very good free throw shooter. So roto, I think Ty Jerome's fine. DFS, Darius Garland's not playing, or Donovan Mitchell's not playing. You fire up Ty Jerome and you put him in your lineup and you roll. But to count on that guy in a regular fantasy basketball league every night when he's playing behind Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, I can't do it. The ranking, the 120-ish is he's better than that, but he still doesn't do enough to help your team.
He's not even a top 120 guy for me, Ty Jerome, as we sit here right now. And so this is a big fade for me. I'm getting career year. Yep, career year. So I fade off a career year, especially for a journeyman, bench player like this. He was at 12.5 points, never even been close to that. 3.5 assists, he'd done that before. 1.1 steals, never been close to that before. 1.6 threes. In his second year with OKC, I forgot he even played for OKC. He was at 2.2. But this was essentially a career year for him. He was on the Sixth Man of the Year radar. He did all of this work in 19.9 minutes, which is pretty freaking impressive. He shot 51.6 from the field, 43.9 from three. But if you increase his volume, you will decrease efficiency. It's just an automatic swing. But Ty Jerome is a free agent, Doc. I don't believe the Cavaliers are going to be able to keep him because they have a lot of high-dollar guys. They brought in DeAndre Hunter, who's another high-dollar guy. So I think the money crunch is going to send Ty Jerome elsewhere. I believe he will be an overhyped, overrated bench player on another team. Now, if Ty Jerome somehow gets signed as a starter on another team in the NBA, then we're going to have to completely change the conversation. But I think, like Tyus Jones, he will be signed as a primetime backup point guard. And then we're just going to have to see. As we sit here right now, he's not a top 120 guy for me, and he is a fade going into next year. Let's talk about LaMelo Ball at 93. That's 8-cat total ranking. His 8-cat per game was 29. And boy, this is a real head-to-head roto collision right here because this guy never plays. He hates the game like John Morant. And so he played 47 games last year. That was actually a decent number for him. 93 8-cat total, 29 8-cat per game. Doesn't get much more different than that. And his 9-cat total ranking was 138. Makes sense of this, dude.
Well, I think you said everything you needed to say when you're like, oh, he played in 47 games. That's pretty good for him. Like, good job, buddy. Thanks for coming out and playing this year. 47 games does not cut it for anyone. I don't care if it's roto, head-to-head, whatever. It doesn't work. LaMelo Ball single-handedly chased me out of Cam Dynasty because I put my future in his hands when I took him with my number one pick, my first pick in the first draft we ever had. And he's been crap ever since because he never plays. When he does play, he's amazing. The 29 ranking for when he's actually playing per game, that's great, man. And if he comes into the season healthy, people are going to fall for the bait again. I remember last year, like, ooh, LaMelo's healthy. I think I'll take him with like number 10 overall. I am out, dude. There's no way that I'm ever drafting LaMelo Ball again.
Yeah, he's on the Zion list, the Ja Morant list, the we'll never draft you again list. So that we can make this conversation pretty short and sweet. I think, and look, I'm really kind of jammed up on this one. Which ranking represents this player? They all do. Okay, 29 per game. Actually, might be a little low, right? I mean, are there 28 better per game? Like Dyson Daniels, is higher than 29, right? Dyson Daniels' stat line versus LaMelo Ball's stat line doesn't even compare. Doesn't even compare. When you get into ranking algorithms and stuff, then, that's how that comes out. But that's not my filter. If you told me LaMelo Ball is going to play 70 games, I would take him over Dyson Daniels every single time. If you threatened my life to not do that, I would probably still take LaMelo Ball in that scenario. But he's going to miss a million games. So is 9-cat total ranking of 138 wrong? No, it's not. Is his 93rd ranking in 8-cat total wrong? No, it's not, because the guy hates the game and never plays. So I don't know what he's on the never draft again list. It's a fade. And all of these rankings represent this player. It's the best I got. He's literally one of the most oh my God, are you serious? We're going from LaMelo Ball to Ja Morant. I mean, and I know this, I prepared for the show, but it just hit me. We're talking about these dudes that are per game studs, but they hate the game and they literally never play. And so their total ranking sucks. Talk to me, Doc, if you had something to say.
No, Ja Morant, I always thought he was overdrafted even before we realized that he doesn't play in as many games as we need him to, because he's not a very good free throw shooter. He doesn't shoot a lot of threes, and he just has holes in his game. So I think his name is bigger than his game, and a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of pundits out there think Ja Morant, or at least they thought he was going to be the face of the league. I don't know if they think that anymore, but there's still people that love Ja Morant and will gladly draft him in the 3rd round. Have at it, dude. His rankings are, 94 for total. 8-cat per game is 51. So you got 94 and 51, and then 9-cat total is 149. So you have 3 completely different numbers. You got 100, 150, and 50, basically. If you think he's going to play in games, the 50 is the closest thing to reality that I can see. But is he going to play in 70 games? I don't know. But I'm out on the Ja Morant game as well.
So you would obviously rather have Dyson Daniels than LaMelo next year?
Yes.
As would I. Because he's on the never draft again list, and Dyson Daniels is not on that list.
Dude, if you could guarantee me that LaMelo Ball was going to play in 70 games, he's a first-round pick. He's not getting out of the first round.
He would be end of first round, top of second round for me. And that's why I said the 29 per game ranking to me is that, no, he's better than that per game. LaMelo Ball's stats are ridiculous. Surefire first round pick. Let me go to my rankings, Doc. Right now I got Jokic, SGA, Doncic, Wemby, tier 1. Davis, Giannis, Cat, 5, 6, 7. 8, Edwards. 9, Hallie. 10, Curry. 11, Trey. 12, Cade. Would I take LaMelo over those guys if he was guaranteed to play 70 games? Probably not. I like those guys' stats a lot. And that it'd be tough though. But that's a nice little cluster of guards right there. And but we can't guarantee that LaMelo Ball is going to play 70 games, so it's a theoretical conversation. Giddey or LaMelo next year? Who would you take?
Giddey. I'm not drafting LaMelo Ball. I don't care where it goes, how late it is. I'm not doing it.
Me too. I would take Giddey over LaMelo with a bullet and a smile.
And I thought you transitioned us into Ja Morant, so I went on that whole Ja Morant roll. So I've already spoken on him. You can take this one over.
Okay, dude. Ja Morant, 94 8-cat total ranking, 8-cat per game of 51, so 94 total per game 51, and then 9-cat total ranking of a bulbous 149. My God. He played 50 games. I'm actually mildly impressed with that number by his incredibly low standards. Boy, you want to talk about tricky.
You're impressed with both LaMelo and Ja's games played, and they both missed. One missed 32 and one missed 35 games.
Mildly, decently impressed. Because they hate the game. They hated the game a little bit less this year, Doc.
Awful.
These guys hate the game. If they loved the game, they wouldn't be playing 50 games. It's fact. So how do you know that? How do you know that, Rick? I've been doing this too long, man. Anyway, it's so hard because he's on the never draft again list. I think it's more the 8 cat per game. I mean, Ja Morant at 94, he's just way too good of a player for that. He is. The 8 cat per game of 51, like kind of where he was like a 3rd or 4th round pick for me last year. I mean, I overdrafted him as a terrible draft pick, but I had a high opinion on him and all that kind of stuff. It'll never happen again. But like if you told me that Ja Morant was a 4th round pick, okay. You tell me he's a 5th round pick, I'm kind of thinking bargain basement then. His stat line this year, 23, 4, and 7. Awesome PRA. 1.2 steals, career high. 1.8 threes, career high. Shot 45%, which is good for a guard. 82 from the line, career high. So, but he's on the never draft again list. But I'll just answer the question and play the game that we're playing here. And I'll say that his ranking of the 51, I think is more representative of Ja. 95, Doc. We get back into role players here. Tari Eason, his value in 8 cat total was 95th. 8 cat per game ranking of 82. 9 cat total ranking of 81. So between 81 and 95 here. He played in 57 games. Does this ranking represent your guy, Tari Eason?
Probably 80s sounds about right. But it comes with a caveat because he missed so many games. He wasn't allowed to play in back-to-backs. He kind of got squeezed out of the rotation a little bit because Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green and Amen Thompson and all these guys had to play. Jabari Smith. So I don't really know. I like Tari Eason's game a lot. I like the thought of him being a fantasy stud and having a really fun fantasy game because I think he does. But I just don't know what his role is going to be next year. So, I mean, I think that 95 ranking is probably the one I like best. I don't want to, and it may even be too high. It may not be representative of the player because he doesn't play enough games, and there's no reason to draft Tari Eason at 95. So I'm going to say he should be more like 120, 130.
Now you're onto something, Doc. Now you're onto something. So when you look at 95, his ranking, 8 cap total ranking of 95. If you divide that by 12, that's 7.9. So late 7th round. There's no freaking way. There's no freaking way. These numbers are lying. 95, 82, 81. Lies. It's literally some like ranking algorithm magic. I don't understand it. Played 57 games. No, these rankings do not represent this player. Look, I love Tari Eason. Huge fan. Love the motor. I was on him before most were. When he was a rookie, spotted it early. I'm like, this guy's a dog. He's a draft steal. I freaking love him. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. The stat line last year was good. 12 points, 6 boards, almost a block, 1.7 steals, 1.1 threes. He's basically a 1-1-1 guy. Okay. The PRA is light, but the 12 and the 6 is okay. He got hurt in year 2, played 22 games, and they still have kid gloves on him all of these years and months later. He played 57 games, started 16. Okay, it's not going to happen for Tari, I don't believe, in terms of a pop, a real pop. It's just not going to happen. I don't think the team will allow it. He played 24.9 minutes this year. I just really don't see it going up over that because of the depth of Houston and because of the lingering leg issue that he has. So I'm not going to put him on the scorned, I'll never draft him again list because I don't want to do the young fella like that. But I'm not hot on him either. He'll probably be coming off of the Houston bench. If you've got FVV coming back and you've got Green and you've got Brooks and you've got Amen, and you've got Şengün, there's no room for him to start. And he would be their sixth man, okay? But then you're going to get stuff like this. And I'll let somebody else rock with that. I'm not even sure he's a top 120 guy, Doc. I'm not. I'm not looking at him probably even into the 10th round. It's like end of draft, and I'm probably I probably have a sleeper that I'm a little bit higher on. There's so much downside and like gravity pull down on Tari Eason, and it's very, very unfortunate. It sucks he got hurt, but he got hurt, and it is what it is. Number 96 is Nicolas Claxton in terms of 8-cat total ranking. 96. 8-cat per game plummets down to 139. 9-cat total ranking of 95. Games played were 70 for Nick Claxton. How about you, Doc?
Oh, I mean, 100 sounds about right. He is a center. He's going to get drafted, but the upside is gone. The hopes of a breakout appear to be gone. His scoring the last 3 years has gone from 12.6 down to 11.8, down to 10.3. And his rebounds this last season fell from 9.9 down to 7.4. Like, what is that? He played 70 games. Just a mess. I don't want to mess with Nick Claxton until the end of my draft.
Amen to all of that, Doc. Day'Ron Sharpe is a free agent, and this is big. I thought he's a restricted free agent, though. I thought Day'Ron Sharpe ate into Nick Claxton. He took some playing time away from him. He didn't make it a full timeshare, but it was Nick Claxton's minutes sucked. I wasn't happy with it, Doc. I think he got paid and kind of like was good, kind of fat and happy a little bit. I don't see a lot of upside here. I don't. Can he get back to 10 and 10 and 2? That's all. Can he get back to a double with 2 blocks per game? I don't know. Top 100 guy. I mean, again, that means I'm drafting him round 7, round 9. I'm going to say he's a top 120 guy, not a top 100 guy. I could see drafting him in round 9 or round 10. I could see that. I could not see myself drafting him ahead of that. So I think his 8-cap per game ranking of 139 is pretty representative here. I think 96 is way too high. He played 70 games, and this is sort of the 8-cap total rankings are sort of like the games played awards. They are. Sorry. So I will fade Nick Claxton. I will fade him to around the 120 range. All right, 97, Doc, is Kris Dunn of the LA Clippers. What did I just say about this? Is the games played bowl? Basically, Kris Dunn, 97 8-cat total ranking. 8-cat per game ranking, 152. 9-cat total ranking of 91. Games played were high at 74. Does this ranking represent this player?
The 152 does. 6 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, 1 3, almost 2 steals. That's fun. But the rest of it, there's just not enough there. I mean, you can't.
It's kind of Case and Wallacey, isn't it?
It's maybe worse than that. But yeah, it's very Case and Wallacey. And they both play with a bunch of superstars. So for Kris Dunn to be able to do anything, he's got to get past Kawhi Leonard, Ivica Zubac, James Harden, and Norman Powell. Like, good luck, bro. No, I'm not drafting. He's waiver wire.
Kris Dunn's a waiver wire guy. The ranking of 152 represents this player. All of the others do not. And he's a fade for me. I agree with Doc. He's a waiver wire guy. Case and Wallace and him and Keon Ellis are very similar guys. They're super low PRA. They give you pretty good fantasy gold goodies, and they're essentially waiver wire guys. Like another guy gets hurt, boom. All right, there's going to be some pop here, but it's going to be short term. It's like that. I literally can't believe we're talking about this guy. Bennedict Mathurin comes in here at 98 in 8-cat total ranking. 8-cat per game, 150. 9-cat total ranking of 127. And he played 72 games. For the life of me, I can't figure out how the algorithm got him to 98 in 8-cat total ranking. So I'll just answer the question before. Hell no, does that ranking represent this player, Doc? So talk to me about Benny Mathurin.
Well, I mean, he had good percentages, low turnovers. He scored 16 points a game. I think that's probably how he got there. I like the thought of Mathurin having upside. I like the thought of him one day becoming really good. Just he's sort of like the Indiana version of Jonathan Kuminga. I feel like is he ever gonna do what it takes to make the coaching staff trust him enough to let him play enough minutes to do what he can do? But at this point, if things are going really, really well in the Indy in training camp, and there's rumors that Mathurin might start, I might maybe use my last pick on him as a flyer. And if it doesn't work out, I'll cut him. But that's as far as I'm going.
Yeah, Doc, I can tell you right now, there is literally no chance of him starting next year. Neesmith is locked and loaded. Nebhard, bro, Carlisle was starting Nebhard before Nebhard knew what the fuck he was doing out there as a rookie. You remember that? Sorry. Gotta reel it in. Sorry. I'm edgy. What can I say? I apologize. I'll clean it up. Anyway, dude, Carlisle was starting Nebhard as a rookie who didn't know what he was doing out there. All right, There, I should have said it like that. And Nebhard does know what he's doing out there now, okay? He's locked in. And he's a good fit. He's kind of a jack-of-all-trades guy, right? He plays some D, move the ball, score a little bit, get some boards, right? He's kind of a perfect fit, honestly, with Hallie. And then you got Siakam, you got Turner. I presume they're going to bring Turner back in free agency. And so there's no room, bro. There's no room. And so TJ McConnell knocking on the door, Shepard knocking on the door, Obi Toppin knocking on the door. These cats, they ain't going to let him in. So Benny Mathurin's coming off the bench again. I understand like that's some ratio algorithm magic to get him where he was in the ranking. The 8 cat per game of 150, to me, yeah, I'm a rock with that. So I'm going to fade Ben Mathurin. Rick Carlisle is fading him into oblivion in his playoff rotation here. And I think you made a great point with the Kuminga analogy. Great point. They don't really have a role for Ben Mathurin. And I like Ben Mathurin. He's a bucket getter. He should be a featured bench guy, Doc, getting 30 minutes a la Jamal Crawford, Lou Williams, and J.R. Smith. That is Benny Mathurin's role. He doesn't make his teammates better. He doesn't defend. He's a downhill, slasher scorer. And so I just think he needs to be in a bench role. Like if he were coming off the Knicks bench, like that'd be incredible. All right, so let's move on here but he won't be on any of my teams next year. He's a waiver wire guy for me. Royce O'Neale is at 99 here, Doc. That's his 8 cat total ranking. 8 cat per game plummets to 159. 9 cat total ranking of 89. He played in 75 games. Talk to me about, does this represent Royce O'Neale and next year's draft? How are you treating it?
Yeah, the 159 is where he belongs. I get excited about Royce O'Neale when someone gets hurt who plays on his team. And that's when I fire him up in DFS. That's where I pick him up for a 4-game week. And sometimes he comes through with a bunch of rebounds and some points, and sometimes he doesn't. He's not the most reliable guy. He's like not automatic to succeed if Kevin Durant gets hurt or anybody else. So plus he's getting up there, right? He's 32. He's about to be 32 years old. I like Royce O'Neale, but I don't need him on my fantasy teams. I think he's a waiver wire guy.
I mean, I can't even believe that Roto guys are like psyched going into this upcoming season about getting their hands on some Royce O'Neale. I just can't even get my head around that. Like, if you're a Roto guy, the great Aaron Bruschi, are you fired up about the numbers say that you've got to take Royce O'Neale in round 7 or round 8? No one's doing that in any league or any format. Think about it. We did the math. Your ranking's 95 divided by 12 for a standard 12-team draft league, right? That's 7.9. That's 95. So even if you go like 105, that's 8th round. That's not a no, that's a bleep no. See, I cleaned it up, Doc. Getting all sensitive because I happen to drop an Effenheimer. Oh, you're getting all butthurt over here.
I was not upset, nor any of that other stuff. I was just surprised. I just could not believe my ears.
I just love busting your stones, dude. That's my boy, Steve Alexander, a.k.a. the Hall of Famer. I'm Rick Kamla. We're the Fantasy NBA today. What's up? Gather around the fire. Royce O'Neale's a waiver wire guy. None of these rankings represent the player. It's a fade, and he's a waiver wire guy. Flush. Move on. To Julian Champagnie. Oh, it gets sexier. He's at 100 on the 8-cat total rankings. 8-cat per game. Oh my God, 195, 9-cat total rank of 93. This may be the most complex 3-pack of numbers we've dealt with here. Games played were 82. Shout out to you for that, Julian. Do any of these rankings represent this player, and how are you treating him heading into next year?
Well, I mean, the totals are up because he played in all 82 games. And when so many of his counterparts played in like 70 games. So shout out to him for playing in 82 games, 9.9 points, 3.9 boards, 0.7 steals, 0.4 blocks, 2.2 threes. Like, again, Champagnie's a waiver wire guy. You see his cheap salary on DFS and you're like, oh, I know that Devin Vassal's out tonight. I think I'm going to roll Champagnie for $3,900 or whatever. And there's upside there. Like, Champagnie still has, both Champagnie brothers could be very good 3 years from now. We don't know. But just in his current form and with his current team in San Antonio, there's just too much talent around him to allow him to really excel. And let's not forget that that's the first time he's ever played in 82 games. His other 2 seasons were 17 games and 74 games. So, yeah, just another waiver wire guy.
Another waiver wire guy for Julian Champagnie. Again, like this is new. It's eye-opening. I think it's cool the way we're doing this, the way we show you the total ranking, the head-to-head ranking, then Doc and I make sense of it. It's difficult, it's challenging, it's tricky, but I really like it. I love these mental gymnastics that we have to play. The ranking of 100 is just a joke. It's an absolute farce. The 9-cat total ranking of 93 is a joke. I mean, you want to lose your league, take Julian Champagnie in the 7th round of your draft. Okay, you will lose. If you want to lose, okay, then rock it that way. The 8-cap per game ranking of 195. I mean, it seems a little light. He seems a little bit better than that. But he's an undraftable guy. He's a good bench player for the San Antonio Spurs who needs a variety of injuries to become fantasy relevant. So let's keep it moving, Doc. With our playoff check-in. Ooh, here we are, Doc, on a beautiful Wednesday, late in May, and we get a Game 5. OKC tonight, Doc, with a win, will go to the NBA Finals. And Minnesota with a win will force a Game 6 coming up in Minneapolis in a couple of days. So I got some thoughts here and stuff, but I want to hear yours. You go first, dude.
Well, we're back. We're back at Oklahoma City. It's 8.5-point spread. The last game was very close. The Thunder were up for almost the entire game. Like, I would say they were up an average of 7 to 10 points the whole game, and then it got a little tight down at the last couple minutes, and Thunder held on in a close win, which I think holding on to win a close one makes you better in the long run than blowing somebody out does. But I think this series is over, and I think the Thunder are going to pull off another blowout in Game 4, in Game 5, and move on.
I like it, Doc. I like it. So I want to kind of like go back to the previous game and kind of blend my take here. To me, Doc, I'm mesmerized with SGA, J-Dub, and Chet combining for 95 points. On the NBA show, the NBA show, pardon me, the Sports Ethos NBA show with Rick Kamla, I talk a lot about that. And Andre actually did some digging. He said Jordan, Horace Grant, and somebody else, when Jordan had 67 in a playoff game, they had 3 guys go for 97 points. So we had a laugh about that.
Could it be Scottie Pippen?
It might have been. I can't remember.
And Jalen Williams? Oh, huh.
J-Dub had 34, SGA had 40, and Chet had 21. 95 points from 3 guys. That's just bonkers, man. And I think super cool and super rare. I'm not saying it's never happened before. I'm just saying I don't think that's happened too many times. To me, they were the best and most important games of both SGA and J-Dub's careers. Dude, because they basically locked up a trip to the finals with that win at Minnesota against a Minnesota team that was ready to go. I mean, Ant-Man and Randall weren't, but the rest of the team was. The Caruso trade did not pay very many dividends at all in the regular season. It's paying gigantic dividends right now. Dude, he is blowing up plays like TJ frickin' Watt with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh, I didn't swear again, Doc. I cleaned it up for you. But he is blowing up plays, dude, time after time, making all these smart little heady plays, little tip, get a hand in here, loose ball, saving a ball out of bounds, like all the non-box score stuff. Caruso's elite at that, man. All right, I got to ask you about Ant-Man's approach here, Doc. Are you mad at Ant-Man?
I'm not. I think you just said it, dude. Not only does he have to deal with Lou Dort in his face, he's got to deal with Caruso constantly just messing with him. Like, they're throwing so many guys. Jalen Williams is a hell of a defender. Oklahoma's defense is elite. And Ant's doing what he can. And, they interviewed him after the game. He's like, I don't think I played bad. I was just doing I was just trying to work to my strengths. I had to work with what I was given, and he wasn't given very much. I think you said it when you're like, Caruso is paying dividends in the playoffs. He's disrupting so many plays, and between him and Lou Dort, both just all over Ant, I just think it's very tough for him.
Dude, they're showing he has 6 eyes on him. Okay, it'd be cliche to say he has 10 eyes on him. He has 3 eyes on him. They're building a 3-man wall on Ant-Man. It's the primary defender, then a shade, and then a guy in the paint. They're giving him and so they know that he's reading for alleys and lanes. They know he wants to be more aggressive. They know he wants to attack, but they're shutting off all of those lanes. So I said on the NBA show as well, Ant-Man's 23. We need to keep all the talking heads that are blasting him out of the water, I'm sure right now, need to keep that in mind, but they don't. They act like he's a 30-year-old ready-made player. He's not there yet. SJ is there yet. He's MVP. He's 26. He's 3 years older than Ant-Man. I'm not mad at Ant-Man. Did I like his game last night? I thought his game last night was a piece of freaking garbage, okay? But I'm not mad at him. Kobe had games like this. LeBron had games like this. These games, huge games, everything on the table, you didn't get it done. You go back to the lab, you fix it, and you get older and you mature and you polish and eventually you win. Is there any doubt in your mind that Ant-Man's going to win a championship? Not this year, but like in his career. Is there any doubt he'll be a champion in his career?
Yes.
Okay. For me, there's no doubt.
There's no doubt to me that the NBA is making him and wants him to be the face of the league.
He already is the face of the league. For me.
But
no, and not for me, Madison Avenue. Dude, he's in every commercial.
Yeah.
Is there an NBA player in more commercials right now than Ant-Man?
I don't know. Shaq? Oh, wait, he's retired. I know. I think he's going to be the face of the league. I don't know that he's going to win a championship. Like, I know Luka's going to win a championship. I feel like he is. I know SGA is going to win a championship. The odds are that Ant is going to win a championship. But I don't know that.
All right, so the 95 combined points. Andre's got some more goodies here. Jordan had 63. Orlando Woolridge had 24. And Charles Oakley had 10 for 97. Okay. Elgin Baylor with 61. Oh, I love this one. Jerry West with 26. What was up, logo? And Frank Selvey combined for 99. He said maybe there are better trios, though. But so that just gives you an idea of the hit. Dude, we got to go back to Jordan and his guys. We got to go back to Elgin Baylor and Jerry West. That was probably like 1962, bro.
And a guy we've never heard of, Frank Selvey.
I've heard of him, but
I've never heard of Frank Selvey.
I don't know much about. I have seen and heard the name before, but I don't know much about Frank Selvey. I'm not going to act like, oh yeah, he was a 5-time All-Star. I don't know his resume. It's Frank Selvey.
But anyway, I'm not. I think that people are not giving Oklahoma City enough credit for their defense, because I would not want to play against that team. I mean, Minnesota's actually done a better job against them than I thought they would.
So you got to win a championship before we can start having these like big historical conversations. But I feel like OKC has one of the best defenses I've ever seen in my life in the NBA. And so, like, how good is it? Is it, the third best all-time? I don't know all that stuff. Win a chip, and then we can maybe start sorting all that. But it's one of the best defenses I've ever seen, and I've been clocking the NBA hardcore since the late 80s, covering it since the early 1990s. And I've rarely seen a defense this good. The Chicago Bulls back in the day, the Jordan teams with Phil Jackson, they had a defensive system. They had unbelievable defensive players. It's right up there at the top. The Detroit Pistons with Ben Wallace, when they won the chip in 2004 in that zone where they were in 6 straight conference finals, Ben Wallace had the no-fly zone. They were holding teams to 70 points on the regular in the 2000s, okay? Not the 90s. And so that's one of the best defenses I've ever seen. And this OKC defense is right there with those. But you got to win the chip, and then we can have more conversations. Doc, I agree. OKC minus 8.5. And I always say, I'm going to lie bet. This is actually a game, Doc, where I'm going to get my bet in pregame because I believe it's only going to get worse. Like, let's say Minnesota gets out to a 10-5 start. That's not really going to drop the number, maybe down to 7.5. Okay, wow, I got a point out. But what if OKC gets on an 8-0 run? Timeout Chris Finch. Okay, now the 8.5 is going to swell to like 11.5, 12.5, and you kind of missed it. And now you're going to be waiting on the Minnesota run to drive the number back down, and that run might not come. Okay, so this is not a live betting joint for me. This is a pregame OKC minus 8.5. I think they're going to slaughter this basketball team. I just think, Doc, that was the game. And I think Minnesota knew that was the game. And I think Minnesota knows now, shit, we're down 3-1. We're going to that house? Damn. I have a hard time believing they're going to live inside this number. I like OKC minus 8.5. You got any prop bets for that game?
I do not. Do you?
I do. Ricky Props is always in effect, Doc. Sometimes more than others. Sometimes more successfully than others. I like Chet Holmgren. His over. I'm not on SGA and J-Dub, Doc, because I'm smelling a blowout, and it may, they may not have to play deep into the fourth quarter of this game. So, but I also don't feel great about playing the under on it. It's 31.5 for SGA. I think it's 22.5 for J-Dub. They're just stayaways for me. Chet is at 14.5. That's attractive to me. He's gone 15, 22, 10, 21. 3 out of 4 over that number. So I'll rock with Chet over 14.5. And I'm going to rock with Ant-Man, okay? Because the last time he took 13 shots was game 1. Same narrative. He's got to be more aggressive within the team, with the coaches, with the media, the whole thing. Got to be more aggressive, got to be more aggressive. And he came out in game 2, Doc, and took 26 shots. He literally doubled his shot volume after the 13. So he took 13 shots in game 4. I don't know if he's going to double his shot volume, but I know that he's going to be in the 20s in shots taken. Okay, I just know that. They're going to change things, make adjustments, and Ant-Man's going to... I mean, the first half was a joke. The second half, I thought Ant-Man played a good game, right? The first half was an absolute disaster. And so, I don't know. I'm going to go over on 27.5. Even in a cooking here, if that's the way it goes down, I still think Ant-Man's gonna rise and hit for 30 in this one and go out with a big game. All right, Doc, we have reached the end of the line. Any parting words for the people?
I'm with you. I'm with you on Ant, and it goes back to the Jalen Brunson thing. Although we don't think Minnesota's going to win that game. If Minnesota's going to hang in that game and be a part of it, Ant is going to have to shoot it 25 times and score 30 points. So I like the over on Ant there.
And think about it. OKC can still definitely cover 8.5, and Ant-Man can score 28, 29, or 30 points. That can definitely happen. In the role players for Minnesota, NAW ain't doing that again. Dante ain't doing that again. Jaden McDaniels probably ain't doing that again, okay? So you're going to see a little rise here from Randall and Ant-Man, but, is it going to be enough? So Doc and I are both on OKC minus 8.5. We're both on Ant-Man over 27.5, and I like me some Chet at over 14.5. Really appreciate you guys watching. Please retweet this. Get it out on your timelines. We'd appreciate that. Go to sportsethos.com and subscribe to our work. It is the best fantasy content in the business. We've got a grandfather program where if you get in now, you lock in your rate, okay? And so as we... And it's not like, oh, we're price gouging. We don't do any of that, okay? But inflation, and we add more, and prices go up a little bit, but not for you. So get in now, lock in your rate, and you can do that at sportsethos.com. And go to your favorite app store and download the Sports Ethos app. It is completely free, and we've got blurbs on MLB, NFL, and NBA as well to help you win. We give you the ultimate tool. It's right there with your left thumb and your phone via us at Sports Ethos. Really appreciate you guys watching. Big shout out to Andre Lemus. Shout out to my boy Steve Alexander. We will see you again on Thursday with another episode of the Fantasy NBA Today. And this episode has been brought to you by Bet Online.